Welcome to the PhD Mommy's Journey podcast with Bridgette Ojo,
an educator and scientific researcher who also happens to be your number one fan. This podcast is for millennial mommypreneurs who strive to be the best versions of themselves every single day. If you're a millennial mom interested in learning more about mindset, motherhood, and motivation, then this is the podcast for you.
Hello there, and welcome back to the PhD Mommy's Journey podcast. I'm your host, Bridgette Ojo. I'm a Navy sailor, PhD candidate, and girl mom of two amazing sweeties. I'm also living proof that you can rewrite your story and create it to be exactly how you want it to be. On today's episode, we are going to continue our series from the book written by Dr. Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules for Life, an Antidote to Chaos. Today's episode is based off Rule 9. Assume the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Y'all, this episode is all about the power of listening, the wisdom and humility, and why your breakthrough isn't going to come from talking louder. Instead, it's going to come from deeper and intentional listening. So let's dive in. We live in a world that loves to talk. I mean, think about it. You're listening to me talk. There are so many opinions everywhere. The news will have their hot takes, loudness, proving, defending, debating, arguing, trying to get your point across. But let me tell you this. The loudest person in the room is often the least equipped. You see, real strength is quiet. Real confidence is grounded. And real wisdom, it doesn't always come from you. Rule 9 reminds us to stay teachable. It highlights the importance of assuming that someone else might know something we don't know. Even when you're smart, even when you're accomplished, even when you've been through it, always stay teachable. As many of you know, before I joined the Navy, I was a teacher. I led classrooms, I mentored students, I helped kids find their voice. So when I joined the Navy, a part of me felt like I've lived, I've taught, I've been through it, I've got this. But very, very quickly, I learned something humbling. You can know a lot and still not know what you need to grow. My instructors, my shipmates, my classmates, they've taught me so much. Not just technical skills, but humility, discipline, patience, precision. I had to put my ego aside and realize sometimes the greatest leaders are also the best students. Let's talk about something I'm proud of. I graduated top of my class in A school, but this didn't happen by accident. Remember, I used to be a high school teacher. I've spent nearly a decade in classrooms, guiding students, coaching others, writing lesson plans, and being the one in charge. My degrees, my experience, my discipline, it shaped how I moved through the world. Now, when I joined the Navy, I thought my wisdom would carry me through. And in some ways, it did. But what I wasn't prepared for was how often I'd have to unlearn what I thought I knew. I had to humble myself in new ways, to receive correction, to ask questions, to take feedback, sometimes from people younger than me, less educated, or from completely different walks of life. But let me tell you something. Some of my greatest growth has come from those exact moments. My instructors taught me things I couldn't have Googled. My shipmates showed me perspectives I would have never considered. Even simple conversations in the galley or standing watch helped shape my leadership, my emotional regulation, and my perspective on life, faith, and purpose. It took asking questions. It took listening closely to people who had been where I hadn't. It took being okay with not knowing everything, even when I wanted to act like I did. And when I finally embraced that, everything opened up. So yeah, I just graduated A school, top of my class. That's a win I'm proud of. But what I'm most proud of is that I didn't let pride block my growth. I remained teachable, coachable, willing to listen. And that's because Rule 9 doesn't just apply in classrooms. It applies in life. This rule taught me that your pride will keep you stuck. Your humility will take you places. During holiday stand-down in A school, I had a major surgery, skin removal. Now, this was something that I did after I've worked so hard after losing 150 plus pounds. Now, I thought I was going to bounce right back. I told myself, you're strong, you're mom, you're Navy now, you've pushed through worse. But you know what my body said? My body said no. After I graduated from A school, I had to take extended leave. My surgeon warned me to take it slow. I felt weak. I felt behind. I felt unproductive. But Rule 9 reminded me, maybe this was a season to listen to my body, to rest, to recognize that just because I'm usually the one doing the teaching, the leading, the coaching, doesn't mean I'm not still a student. Those who know me know how hard I work. I mean, I don't even drink coffee because my ambitions and my drive for greatness fuels me. So rest is not necessarily in my vocabulary. However, when it came to getting my skin removal surgery, rest was my teacher. Slowing down was my discipline. And humility was my healing. My surgeon told me, you need to take it slow. This is a major procedure. What you just did wasn't easy. At first, I didn't want to listen. But here's the thing. Sometimes the person you need to listen to is your own body. Sometimes it's your higher self. Sometimes it's God. That experience humbled me again, and it reinforced Rule 9. It showed me how listening isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Now, let's get really real. Even after losing over 150 pounds and having surgery, I sometimes look in the mirror and don't see what's actually there. Now, this is probably comical because anytime I come home on leave, my mom tells me I'm getting very skinny. I mean, many people tell me every single day how in shape I am, etc. But the truth that I am so ashamed to say is that there are many days where I don't see what everyone else sees. There are times I still tell myself, you need to get into better shape. You can't eat that. You can't wear that. You're not there yet. That's body dysmorphia. It's lying to yourself even after you've put in the work. And again, Rule 9 shows up. Sometimes the hardest person to listen to is your truth. It's a part of you saying, you are strong, you are worthy, you do deserve good things. But I've learned to stop lying to myself in the name of humility. Because let's face it, there is nothing noble about shrinking so others feel comfortable. Now, this also bleeds over to mom guilt, specifically military mom guilt. Being away from my daughters hurts. There's so many nights that I cry, wishing I could be there for every bedtime story or school event. But I've also learned I'm doing this for them. I'm creating stability, structure, and strength for all of us. And I've had to listen to the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. I am a good mom. I am allowed to chase my dreams. I am worthy of a life that expands us all. There are so many times in which society makes it seem like moms have to choose between either chasing their dreams or being a good mom. I'm here to tell you that you can absolutely do both. Of course, there's no such thing as balance. It's impossible to balance. I mean, let's face it, some days you're crushing it at being a mom. Other days, you suck. Same concept applies with chasing your dreams. Nevertheless, the way to create the life you want is to go after and do the things you want in life, even if it means more than one thing. Now, on top of everything else, I'm also preparing for my PhD dissertation defense. Now, this is something that takes mental stamina, structure, and vulnerability. And even here, Rule 9 applies. Because to get here, to get to this specific place, this moment, I've had to listen to my participants who are student parents trying to stay in school while raising young children. I've had to listen to my advisor's feedback. I've had to listen to the still small voice inside me that said, "Your story matters. Keep going." I've had to reframe feedback as favor, correction as collaboration, and setbacks as setups. Despite juggling all these things, I'm slated to graduate this May, and I couldn't be more excited. I can't wait to tell y'all in an upcoming episode about how I successfully defended my defense. It's something that means so much to me because I did this as a single mom. I did this as a woman who has faced a lot of setbacks, trauma, trials, and tribulations, and still managed to transmute my pain into power. My goal is for my story to be an example, a glimpse of hope. And if Bridgette can do this, so can I. For any woman or man who is striving for greatness. This episode is about freedom. Because guess what? You don't have to know it all. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to carry every burden by yourself. Listen more, learn more, grow more. Whether it's your mentor, your mom, your coach, your best friend, your child, your body, or even your God. What if they know something you don't? This rule aligns deeply with my faith. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 1, verse 5, "Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtains guidance." Listening doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise. Discipline doesn't mean bulldozing through pain. It means respecting the season you're in. Choosing what is meaningful over what is expedient doesn't always feel good, but it always produces some great fruit. Let me leave you with this. So if you're in a season where you feel like you should know more, should be further along, or don't want to ask for help, let me challenge you to lean into Rule 9. Ask the questions. Receive the wisdom. Sit at someone else's feet, even just for a moment, because they just might carry the insight your next level needs. Don't lie to yourself because you're scared of being great. Don't water yourself down so others feel comfortable. Don't avoid the truth because it requires you to rise. You were not created to be weak. You were created to be bold, honest, and powerful. Tell yourself the truth, even when it's hard, even when it's about you. That's where freedom begins. If this episode spoke to you, do me a favor. Follow me on Instagram at the PhD Mommy Life for real-time updates, daily empowerment, and behind the scenes from my journey. Don't forget to download my free 30-day gratitude journal. This journal will shift your mindset fast and keep you anchored in truth. Subscribe, download this episode, leave a review, and share it with a mom, a sister, or a friend who's ready to stop shrinking and start rising. And listen, thank you for helping me cross over 36,000 downloads. That's 36,000 moments where a woman or man like you chose to press play on their growth. I see you, I love you, and I do this with you and for you. Because around here, we don't play small. We don't stay silent. And we never stop. Thank you for listening to the PhD Mommy's Journey podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bridgette Ojo. Until next time, keep going. Never stop, never quit, and never surrender.